Christians, in John chapter 6, preceding the feeding of the 5,000, the miracle that Jesus would do, in verse 4 of John chapter 6, it says, "Now the Passover, a feast of the Jews, was near." A feast of the Jews was near. And then Jesus lifted up his eyes, seeing this great multitude coming toward him. And then he says to Philip, "Philip, where shall we buy bread that these men may eat?" Where shall we buy bread that these men may eat? But this Jesus said to test Philip, because he knew what he was going to do. But Philip answered Christ, and he said, 200 denarii worth of bread is not sufficient for them, so that every one of them may have a little. Philip had been with Christ. He had seen numerous miracles already by this time. And it is not very soon after this scenario where Christ talks about himself being the bread of life. So he asks Philip, "Where shall we buy bread so that we may feed this multitude?" And Philip starts counting the little change that they have, which is nowhere nearly enough to feed 5,000 men, let alone women and children. But Jesus was trying to drive the attention of Philip to himself, particularly in light of all that he had already seen. Philip ought to have recognized that Jesus Christ himself was the bread of life, that he would provide it. After all, Philip had seen all the things that Jesus had already done. And it's Christ is the one who asks him, "Where shall we buy bread?" Philip's answer ought to have been, "Lord, we don't need to go anywhere. We have you." This should be your answer to everything, to every need that you see prevailing in your life. You don't need to go anywhere else to search or to count your pennies to figure out how you will afford only that which the Lord himself can provide. God bless you all.